Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And I've got something to show you that I did not know about until I saw it on the Frugal Radio channel. This is recently, he did a review of all of the SDRs that are on the internet that you can get access to and control throughout the world. And he says there's four main communities or groups. I've shown you a couple of those. Web SDR, I've shown you that. There's another one I just recently showed you. But this is one I didn't know exists. And of course there's SDR console software, which has an option where you can get to radios on the internet that private individuals put on. This one I didn't know about. A long time ago, probably when I started in SDRs, which was, 5-6 years ago, I started out using a program called SDR Sharp. Pretty good program, but it depended on plugins. And you had to manually connect to the program, these plugins, via a little file that you had to add a script or a line to that file to tell the program that that plugin was available. Well, in Frugal Radio's show, where he was showing the various methods of getting to SDRs on the internet, one of them was using this program, SDR Sharp. Well, SDR Sharp today is not your father's SDR, and not the SDR that I used 5 or 6 years ago. It is way, way more elaborate and easier to use. Now, what he showed is that this is my understanding, SDR Sharp people that wrote that software, developed that software, also developed this product line of SDRs called Air Spy. And this is their webpage, and if you come down, here's their products. One of them, this looks kind of familiar, doesn't it? And they range from, I think this is a converter, so that's not a SDR, from $99 up to $199. So they're not cheap, but the software that they provide for free, the SDR Sharp, is free, and it will work with many, many different SDRs, including the RTL-SDR dongle, which I've shown you several times, which is a $25 dongle that looks very similar to this one, and it works quite well. Not especially well on HF, but anything above 30 megahertz, it does a great job. But it does work on the HF also. So I downloaded, and it's over here, I downloaded this new SDR Sharp package. Now there's two of them. There's the basic basic package here, and then this is the one that Frugal Radio showed, which is community package with all the plugins installed. And that's what I'm going to show you. So this is where you download. Again, this is what I didn't know about. You can connect to, control other people's SDRs that are throughout the world. So, similar to Web SDR, excuse me. Excuse me. So, let me show you this software. I've downloaded and installed it. Here it is right here. So, you can use it with your dongle, if you have a dongle, and do tuning in your area. Now I have This is actually hooked to a dongle, but it's on my laptop because I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong on this computer. I've since found out what I did wrong, but the dongle is still up there. And that's not what I wanted to show you. What I want to show you is up here under sources. This is what I didn't know about, is the SPI server network. So you click on that. Then it gives you this option here, these options here. This option here will show you the network. So you click on this, it looks like 3 dots, I think. You click on that. Takes you to this page, and hopefully, yep, that opened up. It kind of looks familiar to some of the other setups that are web-based. Now this one is a little different. The other ones, except for SDR console, you just do everything on the internet in your browser. This one, you're using this updated, massively updated SDR Sharp software. So these are all the radios that are out there. Not as extensive as some of the other ones, but still a bunch of radios. And what you can, this is what I like. I wish the other ones had this, and maybe they do and I haven't found it. It's up here. You use this pull down and you can list all the radios that are on the air, and the ones I believe are in red, the red dots means they have the max number of users, so you can't get on. What you can do is you can select ready, and those are the ones you see they're kind of in an aqua green. All those are available to you right this instant. So then you can use the plus here, and you can zoom in. So say I wanted to pick one, and I haven't used them enough to figure out what's ones I like the best. Well, let's just try some in the United States, right in here. Right in here. So I've used, I think, one of these here and a couple of these up here. So what you do is you pick on one, either over here or one of these dots. For me, I like to use the dots because it tells me approximately where it is. So I want to pick one that's kind of on the east coast of the United States, close to Europe, and see if he can receive some European stations. Now, these have restrictions depending on the SDR hardware they're using, of whether they can let you tune 0 to gigahertz or 30 megahertz to gigahertz or whatever. So and this is a case where I really need to make myself a list of the ones that I think are appropriate to me. Now over here, it tells you a little information. Like here says 0 hertz to 1700 megahertz or 1.7 gigahertz. So that's kind of the one that's the type of radio I want to listen to. But I don't know, I wish when you hovered over here, it would highlight it, the dot, so you could see where it is. Because I don't think there's any way of just looking at this and telling which one of these it is. So I'd like to go with selecting it over here. And I might select one that doesn't have that full bandwidth. But we're going to try one right here. We're going to try this one. Kind of looks like it's in Philadelphia. We'll click on it, and then it gives you the details of that station. Tells you the server version, the Linux, the operating system, Linux, maximum number of clients, 1. So once somebody gets on, then you're locked out. And there's nobody on right now. That could be an indication of how good the setup is by the number of people that are using it. So if you go back up and instead of selecting ready, select all, then you can kind of start looking at the stations and get some idea which ones are the better ones. So he's using a MFJ 1886 loop. So it gives you a lot of information. He's using an AirSpy HF SDR, and his minimum frequency is 0 hertz, and his maximum is 1700 megahertz. Full width, full bandwidth. So that sounds like one that I want to connect to. Okay, so you come up here to the address and you click on that, and that connects you. Now you are, okay, stop. Okay, now the reason you're hearing that intermittent signal is because I'm overloading my computer. So that's one thing you have to watch out for. I'm running the screen capture software, which uses a lot of CPU. Now the other thing I'm running, and I'll shut it back down, is I'm running Chrome. Let's shut Chrome back down. We're through with that for now. And let's try running this again. Now, I'm still getting that the dropouts. Again, it could be because I'm overloading my computer with the screen capture software and this SDR Sharp. This FTS, okay, slow down. This SDR Sharp software uses a lot of CPU power. So I don't know, I haven't experimented, but while we're here, while I'm thinking about it, you go down here, these are all the plugins now that come with this community package. So they're all installed for you. You don't have to, I mean, if you had to manually install these, it'd take you a couple of hours. Well, it'd take me a couple of hours. It may take me a couple of days. So, and you can use all these, or I guess you can use all these with that SDR on the web that you're connected to. It just blows me away. I mean, this is not my father's SDR Sharp. I don't remember all this stuff that's available. All these plugins, there's recording plugins, there's AGC audio plugins, there's even an S meter down here someplace. Where'd it go? I lost it. There's so many I lose track of them. But my point is, two things. SDR Sharp, new version, I mean, it looks fantastic. I like this black profile for the graphics. I love the black. I don't like that glaring white that it used to be. All these plugins that are already installed, I love that. I'm hoping that Frugal Radio, because he does a fantastic job of doing what I call production videos, where he edits them, he puts in comments in his videos, he does pans to other pages. He does a fantastic job. I've asked him, I said, please do a video on this new SDR Sharp from the perspective of all these possible plugins. Now, of course, he doesn't have to do all of them, but at least, the most important ones, I'll call it, the ones that most people would use, like the recording. And I have used, again, I can't find it. Oh, frequency scanner. I've used that one, but I kind of struggled because I haven't used this software in, like I say, 5 or 6 years. I kind of struggled trying to remember how to set up scans. And unfortunately, the documentation for these plugins, there's not one manual for all these, for the software and all these plugins. You have to go to the website and you can select a plugin and it will take you to a page with the information of that plugin and how it works and all the features and all that stuff. So you have to do that on every one of these because they're made by other individual people, these plugins. So let me see. I've got, trying to see what I dare turn off. I can't turn off anything. I might could change, although I don't remember how. Might could change the bandwidth here so it's not displaying as much, and that might help my little wimpy computer. Let me try it again. Nah. Let me see, this is 10 megahertz. It's gonna, oh, okay. That was in the wrong mode. This is where you switch modes, or over here. So right now, okay, you can hear a clock on 10 megahertz. So I'm using this, I consider it pretty awesome software to control that SDR that's on the internet that belongs to an individual. And I really, really thank all these people that are providing their radios to control. And you can tune across the band, change the modes, do recordings, all kinds of stuff with this software and these radios. Like I say, I did not know about, and probably, well, I'm pretty sure back when I used it 6 years ago, this spy server network didn't exist. So this is something, I don't know how long it's exists, but it's been around for a while. I just didn't know about it. And I thank Frugal Radio for doing a show on all the different places where you can control radios, SDRs, on the internet, in case, number one, you don't have one, or you're thinking about getting one, or number two, you have an SDR, but where you live, like me, right now, reception on HF is just terrible. So check it out. If you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. It tells me I'm presenting stuff you're interested in. Please leave comments. What do you think about this setup, this SDR server? Let's disconnect from that one. And now we can go to the list again, or to the map. And see these, and of course, these come and go. People put their radios on for a while and then they take it off, so they come and go. So it's not always the same radios. This is showing you all of them. I think the way it goes is green is ready and available. You can use it. Yellow, maybe it can take up to 4 users, and there's already 3. So you got to jump in there. And in the red are, that particular radio has the maximum number of users, so you can't get on. And it'll vary, of course, because people get on and get off. Some of them have time limits. Like you can only stay on 30 minutes and then it will disconnect you and you have to reconnect. That's so you don't connect to one and then leave the room and then go work on in your garage and forget about it. That way people can get on and it disconnects you automatically. That's it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.